I see a light inside of you, so let it shine. It's time to spread your wings and fly. Reach for the sky. Get up, don't let nothing hold you. Get up right now, right now. Get up, don't let nobody tell you that you can't. There is greatness inside of you. We believe it. You say one day you go make a you down, stand with the bow. Yes, we believe in you. Yeah. Don't you give up on yourself till the world knows who you are. Keep on shining. Get up, don't let nothing hold you. Get up right now, right now. Get up, don't let nobody tell you that you can't. There is greatness inside of you. You're the one that the world is waiting for. Every step you take, we go there, 'cause we believe in you. Say one day you go make a one day. One day you'll be like the sun. Say one day you go shine.
Access, more than banking.
It's such a great time to be alive and a great time to be a woman. We are live here at Eco Hotels and Suites to celebrate Access Bank's International Women's Day 2023. Equality is desirable.
We've gone through recognizing women, and then women are equal. Now equity, and equity cuts across every area of life.
I mean, we're here to stay, they have to accept us, and then we also have to keep proving ourselves.
And if we do more for women, we will enhance the progress, not just of the bank, but of the society.
Because if you're always in dissonance with one another, if you don't cooperate with one another, if you don't value one another, that shows weakness.
I believe is embracing equity. It becomes, so when you embrace something, you own it, you take it as you put it close to you, beyond it just being an idea.
As much as you are a man, the woman is equal to you.
For the men that were here today to support the conference, I say thank you. And really, you are the real MVPs.
I'm tired of trying. I need help. I want to try IVF. I know it's expensive.
Are you struggling with a health challenge? Do you need financial help to access treatment? If yes,
apply now for MHSS, the Maternal Health Service Support, a discounted loan by the W initiative of Access Bank with low interest rates, no loan fees, flexible repayment plan. This is your best bet for financing your health needs. For more information, visit our website on www.thewcommunity.com or any Access Bank branch nationwide. You can also send an email to wcares@accessbankplc.com. Terms and conditions apply. The MHSS has successfully financed hundreds of health procedures.
The next one could be yours.
Wow, it gets better from here. Ladies, I have amazing news for you because it's the Each One Bring One season where we're introducing W to everyone. Our goal is to expand W's reach by ensuring that every woman is aware of the numerous value proposition that W brings to the table. Do you know that every year W gives loans to women for health, business, vehicle financing, and more? Do you also know that every year W holds the Womenpreneur Pitchathon program where female entrepreneurs get mini NDAs and access to grants to fund their business? And that's not all. Every October at W is our health month. Women get free screenings, scans, discounted treatment options, health webinars, and the list goes on and on. If you didn't know, now you know. If you already know, we're inviting you to join the Each One Bring One campaign. Tell a woman about the W initiative today. Follow us on all our social media platforms at the W Community and be part of this movement.
Can you feel it?
Do you sense it? Did they hint you?
Something special has arrived just for us.
The W Initiative of Access Bank is back again with an amazing financial solution for all women, and you certainly should not miss out.
Introducing a brand new W identity, specially designed for every member of the W community.
Wouldn't you rather have a card made just for you?
We definitely recommend it.
Visit your nearest Access Bank branch for a chance to get your W card. Available in Visa and Verve variants. Shop online, pay bills, make withdrawals, access discounts, choose a lifestyle of ease, speed, top-notch service, and security.
Join the tribe. Be a future-forward female.
W inspiring, connecting, empowering.
We hit the road today to spread the good news about the W initiative of Access Bank. We sensitized both customers and staffs at different branches on the different offerings of the W initiative, ranging from our loan products to capacity building, advisory, and so much more. We encourage women to join the W community on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube at the W community. And also, we encourage them to sign up on the newly relaunched W website at www.dwcommunity.com. It is a community of winning women where we inspire, connect, and empower them. We invite you today to join the W community and also bring one woman on board, because together we can do much more.
Our goal is to continue to be #1 in inspiring, connecting, and empowering women. We encourage you to join this movement. Tell someone about the W community today.
We can't do it all alone. We need you, and you to tell a woman about the W community.
Each one bring one.
Mom, my tummy hurts so much. I'm scared.
It is well, my daughter.
Myself, I'm scared. We should be at the hospital already. Why can't we use one of these cars?
Who will drive it? You?
Sis, so we can't drive yet.
I beg, leave me.
Focus, Joe. Book that ride.
It is important that women do not only learn how to drive, but to fully understand the driving rules. and be a professional on the road.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
This road is a one-way. Where did you learn how to drive?
This is why the W Initiative of Access Bank has partnered with the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, to provide intensive driving training for women across Nigeria at very discounted rates, as well as other amazing offers, such as the driver's license processing assistance. Check out our social media pages at the W Community or send an email to wcares@accessbankplc.com. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Hurry now and let's get you driving.
I see a light inside of you, so let it shine. It's time to spread your wings and fly. Reach for the sky. Get up, don't let nothing hold you. Get up right now, right now. Get up, don't let nobody tell you that you can't. There is greatness inside of you. You're the one that the world is waiting for. Every step you take, we go again. 'Cause we believe in you. Say one day you go make a one day. Push you down, stand with the bow. Yes, we believe in you. Yeah. Don't you give up on yourself till the world knows who you are. Keep on shining. Get up, don't let nothing hold you. Get up right now, right now. Get up, don't let nobody tell you that you can't. There is greatness inside of you. You're the one that the world is waiting for. Every step you take, we go there, 'cause we believe in you. Say one day you go make a one day. One day you'll be like the sun. Say one day you go shine.
Access, more than banking.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the W Heart2Heart webinar series brought to you by the W Initiative of Access Bank. It is the first W webinar in the year 2025, so permit me to say Happy New Year to you from the stables of the W Initiative. It's been a pleasure having you riding with us in the year 2024, and we are looking forward to a more beautiful and impacting 2025. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome once again. It's a beautiful day here in Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Ifeoluwa Omoto, and I am delighted to be your moderator on this session. What I'd like you to do is to go to the comment section and introduce yourselves. Let us know your name and where you're joining us from. And for every woman who is ready to embark on this beautiful journey of self-love with us, drop a love emoji in the comment section. Let us know that you're ready to do this with us. And as we start the session, we'll be taking the opening remarks. Please put your virtual hands together in the comment section like we always do, as we welcome the group head of the women banking team here at Access Bank, Nene Kunle Ogunlusi. Hi, Nene, good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Ife. Good afternoon or good evening. Yeah, how you doing today? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're joining us from at this time. We're excited to have you here today. It is our very first Heart2Heart webinar. And this is an annual event. I think this is the third we're having, and we're excited to be here, and we're excited to have you follow us every year. This year is a new year. We have so much in store for everyone. So we encourage you to follow us in the W community, stay abreast with the things we have in store for you this year. We've started the year with a revamp of our launch of our newly revamped website. We have the IWD coming up. We have our other events all scheduled for this year. So I encourage you, stay tuned to W, follow us on all our channels. Now, today is all about ourselves. You know, as women, and if we have men here, we give out a lot. We give for our careers, we're busy building the families, and most times you tend to forget the most important person, yourself. So what are we doing today? It's a month of love. We're teaching ourselves to love ourselves, because like they always say, you cannot fill out, you cannot give out from an empty cup. So you have to make sure your cup is full first before you give out. And you know, in W, we're very concerned about you and women empowerment. And for women to be empowered, they have to love themselves. And so today we've brought speakers, talented, experienced specialists to come talk to us about love. Do you love yourself? I believe there's a lot in store for all of us. So let's lean in, listen, take notes, and we will see at the end of this session. Thank you, Ife. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Nene. That was the group head of the Women Banking at Access Bank, and we are also known as the W Initiative. I'm sure that a number of us are trying to figure out what the W Initiative is, particularly for those who do not know about us. And so my next speaker is going to introduce the W Initiative to us. So please sit back and welcome from the W Individual segment, Samuel Agbo. Hi, Samuel. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us.
All right, thank you, Ife. Good afternoon, everybody. You know, it's a lovely time to, be at this webinar. So I'm going to just be doing a brief intro on what the W Initiative is all about. So the W Initiative started as an initiative in the year 2006. You know, it just began as an initiative to, give advisory business services and on lending to women. And it became a full-blown initiative, like a full-blown team in 2014. And we're currently present in over 10 African countries. The segment that the W Initiative focus on includes the women in business, W Young Professional. So W here stands for women, W Young Professional, W and Family, the Millennials and Gen Z, the Quintessentials, and then the W Change Makers. Now, when we talk about the W Initiative, what we offer is not just the financial services. So we have, this basically is a very summarized snapshot of all our product and propositions. So we have the access to finance, the access to network, access to capacity building, and then the access to market. So under the access to finance, we have a myriad of products. We have the W Power loan, the W Power vehicle loan. In a short instance, you'll be seeing like a more detailed criteria and requirements for the loan and what the loan is about. So we have the W Power loan, the W Power vehicle loan, the W switch to solar loan, the home loan, W health loan, and also the state government intervention loan for the W chain makers. So under the access to network, we have the W sessions in branches, the mentoring and coaching sessions, lifestyle and networking events. While under the capacity building, we have the Womenpreneur Pitchathon Mini MBA program in partnership with IFC. We have the business clinic and the support service. We have the W webinars that is usually done quarterly like we're doing now. And we have the Ladies Let's Drive initiative where, women get to learn to drive at a discounted price. We also have the SME toolkits and skill development program. We have the W Health Month, which usually comes up in the month of October. And also we have the W Debit Card. When you get the W Debit, I'll get to it, but it's a signature card for all females. So under the access to markets, we have the access to market via the W community, also the SME trade fairs and exhibitions. So for the loan, this is a breakdown of the loans I just mentioned earlier. So under the W Power loan, you can get up to 100 million naira, and be sure that the interest rate is one of the best in the industry. It's a discounted interest rate. You can get the loan for your working capital or your business expansion, and you can get it for up to 36 months. Isn't that fantastic? The W Power vehicle loan is also similar to W Power loan. However, this is to purchase both brand new and pre-owned vehicles. All you just need to do is contribute 10% equity, and then you're good to go. The W Power home loan gives you the opportunity, to outrightly purchase or off-plan mortgage or equity release, outrightly take up any of these options. And be sure that the interest rate is also discounted, and you can take this loan for up to 20 years. Then the switch to solar, W switch to solar loan. This is it's a loan that allows you to take up the solar, that's the solar photovoltaic, the batteries, the inverters, along with the installation. Now, this loan, actually, the obligor limit for the loan at the moment is 50 million naira, and be sure that the rate is also discounted. Now, this is an overview of the W Power loan, 100 million. The minimum amount you can apply for under the W Power loan is 1 million, actually. And the W Power vehicle loan, so it allows you the opportunity to, buy brand new vehicles, pre-owned vehicles, and then also equity release. Vehicles that are financed include saloon cars, SUVs, pickup van, buses for your business at a very discounted interest rate. Now, the home loan, allows you to take up the easy mortgage, the off-plan or the home equity loan. The loan amount is as much as 5 billion naira, for corporate applications. The off-plan is 250 million, and the home equity loan is 50% of the property for sale value. The tenure, like I earlier mentioned, is still 20% for off, sorry, not 20%, 20 years for off-plan, 20 years for equity, and then 5 years for home equity loan. These are the age limits, from 21 to 60 years for easy mortgage, 21 to 50 years for off-plan, then 21 to 65 years for home equity loan. Be sure that you're going to be getting this product at a discounted interest rate. Now, for the switch to solar financing, for loans that are below 1 million naira, the tenure is 12 months. For loans that are above 1 million naira, the tenure is up to 48 months. And you can access as much as 50 million, to get your solar photovoltaic or the batteries or the inverters. And it comes along with the installation as well. The equity contribution is 30%, and these are the fees: 1% management fees, 0.9 credit life insurance, and 1% comprehensive insurance. Please note that the management fee is one-off. So the item financed include the photovoltaic, the inverter, the batteries, and also the installation. Now we have one of our, major products called the health loan. Now this loan gives women the opportunity to, take up a facility up to 10 million naira to finance a specialized procedure. Now, specialized procedure range from fertility treatment, natal support, pediatric care, any kind of specialized procedure that you want to, uptake. So who can apply for this loan? A man can apply, a woman can apply, a third party can apply for the MHSS variant of this loan. Now, the MHSS variant covers, the MHSS translates to the Maternal Health Service Support, and it covers every kind of procedure under the maternal health procedures. Like I earlier mentioned, the fertility treatment, natal support, the pediatric care, dental, optical, orthopedic, you name it. So the second variant of the health loan is the W cancer support. So this one allows you to take up facility to, sponsor your cancer treatment. And the last variant of the health loan is the W medical emergency support. This covers accidents, intensive care unit, neonatal care, and extremely time-sensitive procedures. Now, who can apply for this loan? For the MHSS, a man can apply, a woman can apply, a third party can apply. So a man is applying for his wife, his mother, his sister, is applying for a woman in his life. A woman can apply for herself or a woman in her life, and the third party sponsor can apply for themselves if they are a woman or a woman in their life. For cancer support, it's the spouse, the parent, or third party for cancer and medical emergencies. Now, you can take up to 10 million naira under this facility for the maternal health service support and the cancer support. However, for the medical emergency support, the maximum amount is 2 million naira at the moment. The interest rate is 14%, which is like the lowest you'd find in the industry. The maximum tenure for the maternal health service support is 36 months for salary earner and then 24 months for business owners, while that of the cancer support and the medical emergency is 24 months. The credit life insurance is 0.5 annual insurance. So these are the eligibility criteria. For salary earners, you need to get a confirmation that you are a confirmed employee of the organization, and we need to receive a minimum of 1 month's salary into the borrower's account. The borrower also needs to domicile their account with the bank. We get 3 satisfactory checks. The customer must not have a history of return check or must not be involved in check cross-firing or kite flying. For business owners, so the business must be registered and must have been in operation for a minimum of 1 year. We'll need to see a minimum of 1 year bank statement from the business. So the minimum turnover that the business must be doing is 8 million. For non-account holders, so business account must be opened and cash flow domicile with the bank. What they're saying is business account must be opened with the bank, and then you domicile your cash flow. All the inflows you receive from your business must be domiciled in the bank. 3 satisfactory check. So applicant can also provide a third-party guarantor, and so now that's under the finance variant of the W initiative. So now to the W Academy. So under W Academy, we have the business clinic and support services. We have the Womenpreneur Pitchathon Mini MBA. This is in partnership with IFC, where people get to pitch their business and stand the chance to win a grant of 5 million naira, 4 million, and the rest. So we have the W event in the workplace. We also have the W community. We've launched our website. We'll be seeing that later in the slide. So we have the W sessions in branches. So I earlier mentioned something about the W debit card. Now, this is a unique card that is designed specially for our female customers. Now, this card allows you to, get a discount with some of our partner vendors. So all you need to do to apply for this card is visit any Access Bank that is close to you and then tell them you want to apply for the W debit card. Now, if you want to reach out to us, you can send an email to wcares@accessbankplc.com, or you can take a screenshot of this number and then give us a call. Now, we launched our website this year. And it's a way for us to, keep our community together. It's a way for all our female customers to stay connected with us. Now, you can scan this barcode to go to the website or visit the W community and join the community on the website. And also follow us on the W community across all our social media channels. And also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell subscription. Thank you very much for listening. I'll be handing over to Ife now.
Thank you so much, Samuel. I hope that we can all hear the good things that the W Initiative is doing. We have quite a good number of things, products and initiatives at large for you, our beautiful women. So make sure to take the opportunity, follow us across all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and X at the W Community. And I'm sure that you will not regret doing so. Now, it's going right into the conversation, in a society that often conditions us to seek external validation, right? Self-love is possible to take a backseat. And a lot of us, we spend years chasing validation, fearing judgment from other people, battling self-doubt, and so on and so forth. But what if the most profound and fulfilling love story you could ever experience is the one that you cultivate with yourself? You should ask yourself that question. Now, this webinar is designed to guide you on a journey of deep self-acceptance, confidence, and inner peace. And we are on this journey to break free from every societal expectations, redefine our self-worth, and also to learn to celebrate ourselves unapologetically. Because when you fall in love with yourself, every other thing falls into place. And we have brought you the most amazing speakers to do justice to that subject for you. My first speaker is a leading dating coach with 10 years of experience helping women of faith to meet and marry their husbands within a year. Isn't that wonderful? She has an active social media following of over 100,000, where she guides women on dating with intention, prioritizing self-love, and leading with their own unique values to find fulfilling relationships and attract the right partner for a successful love in marriage. Please welcome with me, with your virtual claps in the comment section like we always do, Tolu Falodi. Hi, Tolu. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us here today.
Hi, Ife. Thank you so much. It's lovely to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. It's lovely to have you. My second speaker is a renowned journalist and media personality, celebrated for her impact in the world of fashion, lifestyle, and self-empowerment. She is a passionate advocate for body positivity and self-love, and she has used her platform to inspire countless individuals to embrace their true self unapologetically. With a wealth of experience in media, she has contributed to top publication, hosted engaging conversations on personal growth, and she has built a bold and confident voice in the media industry. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me once again, Latasha Lagos. Hi, Latasha. Good afternoon. Hello, Latasha. Are you here with us? Can you hear me?
Afternoon. I can hear you and see you. Can you hear me?
You're welcome.
Can you see me?
Thank you so much for
Hi,
joining us
everyone.
here today.
Thank you.
Great. Now, I think we can delve right into the conversation. Now, the conversation about self-love and awareness has been ongoing for years, and I think it is important for us to have this kind of conversations. And the importance of this is, it cannot be overemphasized. So first of all, I want to know, right? I want to know what self-love means to you. And I would like you to go first, Tolu. What does self-love mean to you in particular?
Thank you. I believe self-love for me means you're choosing the best for yourself. You're learning to appreciate and treat yourself the way you would like others to treat you, which is basically the name in it, what is in the name in itself, loving yourself. So for me, it's just about prioritizing yourself so that you can give to others and really understanding what it looks like to live a fulfilling life through the love that you.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Tolu. Latasha, what does self-love mean to you?
Really, Tolu has said it all, but if I will add, I would use the word radical. To me, self-love is the radical idea that you are super important and you are super valued and you are super cared for, but by yourself. The radical idea that you are the one who is responsible for taking charge of all of the things I've just said, caring for yourself, valuing yourself, but most importantly, in a positive and nurturing way. Because you may feel like drugs are good for you, but they're really not. That's not positive and that's not nurturing. So it's a very radical idea of loving oneself, but in a way that is positive and nurturing.
Thank you so much. I mean, you just made it clear that someone can love herself in a negative way. I didn't know that could happen, but thank you so much for that. Let me mention at this point that for everyone with questions, please make sure to drop your questions in the Q&A section so we can take them one after the other. I'm coming back to you, Latasha, and you have been very vocal with your advocacy for self-love. I wanted to know if there was a pivotal moment in your life that made you realize that, look, self-love is very important, or maybe an event that happened that led you to make that decision for yourself.
You know, I would like to tell you that um, it's very funny, but I tell people that I was almost born this way because for as long as I can remember, I have always been supremely confident in my abilities, supremely confident in who I am, right? But I understand now that it was as a result of the nurturing that my parents gave me. So I'm the first child, and perhaps that had a lot to do with it, which is that, you know how when the first child comes, everyone showers all of this love and attention. But instead of probably making it very extreme and I came out spoiled, I was the child whose curiosity was fed. I'm the child who's who was engaged on various levels that were positive and nurturing. If you look behind me, you will see that I'm a book lover. From childhood, I started reading when I was 3 years old. And so these things were encouraged in me. And I grew up believing that I could do just about anything. But if I can actually recall my first like time that I realized that, wow, I actually loved myself. I took a lot of pride in my parents as a child. I was very neat. I still am. But it was something that was very important to me that my nails were kept clean, that my socks were white at the end of school, that my collar wasn't dirty, there wasn't ink stains on me. And then when I was in primary 5, we all of a sudden one day the headmistress came and she was like, we're going to do something called the neatest boy and the neatest girl. And I just heard my name announced on the assembly ground. And I was shocked, like, wow. But then I realized that, oh, okay, this is the result of my meticulous care and being here. I mean, it's great that I've done it for myself, but it feels even better that someone has also noticed and rewarded me from that for that. And so I think that was when I thought about this, I was like, I think this is my earliest memory of understanding what it means to pour that love, care, and attention on oneself. And you know how they say, first impression lasts the longest. So yeah, I would say that that was my earliest memory.
Great, great, great. It is often said that the first unit of the society is the family, and you just very subtly made it mention how important it is for this to start from the family. I mean, so when you understand right from your family that you are very much loved, then it's not likely that you take just anything from anybody. Great. Thank you so much, Latasha, for that. Now, in today's world, right, where external validation takes precedence. And a lot of us are on social media, we're looking to, for comparison and insecurities. A lot of people are looking for likes and every other thing. How do you cultivate self-love without relying on other people's opinion? And this is first to you, Tolu.
Sure. So for me, cultivating self-love started with my faith. So when I started walking closely with the Lord, it became clear to me that I didn't care what a lot of people thought. Because when I started, for example, as a relationship coach, it was a lot of my friends did not understand it. And that validation would have put me off my path if I hadn't had the internal conviction that this is the path I was on, because it didn't make sense to a lot of people, least of all me. But my faith led me to realize that when you are called to do something, it's going to be outside a lot of people's understanding. So I understood from that point that external validation is secondary. You need to understand for yourself what it looks like to have that internal confidence, because a lot of people will push back on you. A lot of people will not understand what you're doing, and it will intimidate a lot of people when your light starts to shine, so to speak. So my faith was very important in today's society, today's world, in understanding that external validation is really not the main reason behind how you can love yourself. And in finding that internal validation, you will find that it quenches the fire of comparison, and it removes the desire to nurture insecurity. Another thing is I would advise working on yourself. For me, self-development was key. I write a lot. I like to write. I'm always writing. So I discovered through the process of developing my gifts and my talent and spending time with what makes me me, it became clear to me that I now valued my skill set more, and it helped me to provide values to others in a way that they could understand. And what's interesting that I will mention is when you become confident in yourself, other people start to take notice of you in the way that you see yourself. It's very interesting because if you don't come, if you're not confident, it's like they're going to feed off your insecurity. But if you're showing up confident, it nurtures curiosity in others, and they start approaching you based on how you see yourself. And finally, I would say you need to remove anyone and anything in your life. You need to have boundaries. You need to remove anyone and anything in your life that is compromising where you know you are going and what you know you are called to do. Because if you entertain that, you're going to remain stuck and stagnant for a very long time. So it's very important that you redraw your boundaries to make sure that you're only having friends and loved ones that support you and your dreams. So that's what I'll say.
Great. Thank you so much. One key thing I picked from you is when you said external validation is secondary and internal validation quenches the fire of comparison. So when you know who you are internally, it's difficult for you to start comparing yourself with other people out there. Thank you so much, Tolu. Natasha, now I'm coming to you.
Okay.
How do you cultivate self-love without relying on other people?
Already, everything that Tolu said already. She talked about journaling and taking notes. Listen, you can't catch me anywhere without a notebook in my hand. Like, I have scribbles all over this house. Honestly, it's important to me. But I often remember, this thing that they used to tell us when we're kids. All fingers are not equal. All fingers are not equal. Sometimes you think they're saying it because, oh, your mom doesn't want you to have a new bicycle. No, that's not what it's about. It means, look, we are different. They are all fingers. They are all functioning fingers, but they are all different, even on the same palm, which means even in your own household, everyone has the role that they're going to play, let alone the outside world. And if you're unable to conquer that from even within your nuclear unit, then you can't stand a chance outside. What is your relationship like, even in your family, in your space, with your circle? If you're able to completely understand who you are and where you stand, then you'll be able to have a chance with fighting all those pressure from the outside world. The second thing is recognizing that my race is special. No one is Latasha Ngube. No one will ever be Latasha Ngube. There is only one you. There is only one Tolu Falode. There is only one Tiwa Savage. There's only one Beyonce. There's only one Michael Jackson. There's only one you. And it is your responsibility to make your time here count. Number three is realizing who I am. What was I called here for? What is my purpose? Knowing these things and understanding them are very key to helping you navigate through the pressures that come from platforms like social media and all those the comparisons and insecurities that they bring upon people. Once you are solid in who you are, those things are just like, okay, this is nice, but I'm going back to the real world and that's my life. You know what I mean? That's my world. This is my choices and so on. So yeah.
Great. You even understand what it is to have one. And to be able to you even understand what it is to have one. And to be able to reclaim, you know, who you are and what your self-worth is, you need to go on a journey of self-discovery. You really need to spend time to understand what kind of environment are you surrounding yourself with. Again, it comes back to having boundaries. So I'll give you, I'll share a quick way to do this, a quick filter. Look at your personal relationships. Do they embody an environment where you feel safe, where you feel nurtured, like Natasha was saying? Is it an environment where you see yourself growing? Look at your professional relationships. Is there any leak in your professional relationships that is making it difficult for you to stand in your own self-confidence? And these tangents will depend on the particular context. So in personal relationships, examine your family and friendships as it relates to you personally. In professional relationships, examine your professional relationships as it relates to you professionally, because that is where they know you the most, and that is where you are the most seen for them in the diversity that is your makeup. And then publicly, what kind of shows are you watching? What kind of accounts are you following? What kind of blogs are you listening to? Because, in the course of my work, I see so many women internalize the pressure for marriage, the pressure to have kids, the pressure to look a certain way, the pressure to be able to conform to expectations, whether family, professional, or just a random stranger on the street making a comment. So I believe like societal conditioning has shaped the understanding of self-worth, specifically for women, to conform to what society is comfortable with. They're not comfortable with a woman speaking her mind. They're not comfortable with a woman not just getting married to whoever. They're not comfortable with an educated woman speaking out. And you have to understand that because you have discovered yourself, you are always going to stand out. You are always going to hit you're always going to hit a nerve with maybe your senior colleagues, your peers. You're always going to make it uncomfortable to have conversations with friends and family, but that is a dynamic that you have the power to change as soon as you come to that awareness. And finally, I will say how you can change this is practicing your voice. So practice your voice in conversations. You don't have to go on a whole rant. You can say, actually, I have a different perspective on that. When you're talking to your friends and family members, you may not be able to come out fully because you remember you're practicing your voice. You may not be able to come out fully, but show that you think differently. Maybe your parent said something or your sibling said something and you just say, I have a different angle to this. And the more you practice it, you will find that it's very addictive the more you do it, because you start discovering yourself more and you like the you are becoming. So that's my advice.
Great. Thank you so much, Tolu.
You're welcome.
I mean, very, very well said. Practice your voice. Women, learn to practice your voice. Thank you very much, Tolu. Now I'm coming to you, Latasha. In your experience, how does self-love contribute to our overall mental and emotional well-being?
We can sit here all day on that one
And talk about that,
because
right?
honestly speaking, it determines or it contributes to everything about your emotional and mental well-being. Um, Without your mental and emotional well-being, let's just let's just be clear. You are simply a human body that is moving around. That's, when they say that, they say, my mind no day there. Like, you are not present. Like, if your mental and emotional are not, first of all, aligned and in a good place, you can be crossing the road and a car will hit you because you are not there. You're simply not present. Do you understand? You don't care about how you look. You don't care to take a shower. You don't care to look after yourself. You don't care if you look unkempt. You don't care about what food is going into your mouth. You don't care about the kinds of conversations. You're just out of it. And so you're in my experience, self-love does contribute greatly. But let me also say that self-love helps you develop resilience, right? You're able to cope with challenges better. Setbacks, you have something, you have a plan for something, and it doesn't quite work out the way you want it to. Things are going wrong. But then self-love makes you understand, look, this is not about you. This is about this moment. And just because this isn't happening the way I want does not mean that I'm a failure. You're developing resilience as a result of that. Self love helps you improve your self esteem. Walking into a room, you know that you've put in like you are on top of your game. You walk in, you feel good, you're able to make friends, network, move around, a space. You don't have to necessarily be the loudest voice in the room or the most noticed, but the people who will be drawn to you by the quality of the aura that you're putting out, simply because your self-esteem is exactly where it should be. You're able to have meaningful connections and conversations that could lead to so much more. And so your self-worth is, like I said, exactly where it should be. Also, reducing self-criticism is another thing that comes as a result of self-love, in yourself. So focusing on self-love encourages self-compassion, letting go of negative self-talk. I have a friend who, every time she calls me, before we go 5 minutes in, she has said something negative about herself. I make it a point to tell her, sweetheart, you just said this, and this. She's like, oh my God, I'm working on it. I'm trying. And I tell her, I will point out to you every time you tell me something that I know is not true about you. And even if you believe it to be true, I'm going to help you unlearn this behavior until we have you screaming about your best self from the rooftops. Um, enhancing emotional regulation is another thing. Self-love helps you manage situations better. You're able to respond to situations more thoughtfully, with more empathy, and just, regulate the way you feel. Yesterday my sister was having there was a situation with a vendor, and it was escalating. And I just said to her, you know what? I don't think you need to respond at this point in time. That person seems like they are upset. I don't think you being upset on this call is going to help anything. Just dead it for now and let it go. We can revisit the conversation tomorrow morning. That's today. A few hours ago, she came to meet me and she was like, oh, guess what? They've just written to her. They said all is well. They've sent back my deposit and so on and so forth. And I just smiled and looked at her and I'm like, there you go. So this also helps. Also fostering, like I said, positive relationships. When you love yourself, you're able and probably more likely to form healthy, fulfilling relationships that are built on mutual respect. So incorporating self-love into your daily life can definitely help develop into something that is positive and leading to better improved mental and emotional well-being.
Great. Thank you so much. I really like the last part where you said it helps you to cultivate good relationships that are based on mutual respect. Very, very
Absolutely.
key. Very, very key. Thank you so much, Natasha. And let me also put it out again that if you have questions, please make sure to drop them in the Q&A section so that we're able to take them once we're done. I'm coming back to you, Natasha. What are some small but impactful daily habits that promote self-love?
Again, for me, believe it or not, as popular as I am on social media, I take a lot of breaks off of social media. I don't feel it is absolutely necessary to be on every single story that is on Instablog. I don't feel the need to be on Shade Room 247. There are some platforms that I will never even touch. Gist this, gossip that, miss me completely. You will never find me there. Like, don't send me any stories. I don't want to read them because I just don't stand for what they stand for. And my friends have actually all learned to give me a wide gap when it comes to those things. That's setting healthy boundaries for oneself, because I think it's important. I honestly do not believe that the human race was built to receive the daily amount of information that is coming to us now on social media. I mean, do you know that you can sit down, you look up, you look down, 4 hours have gone by, and you are doom scrolling? I have friends like, I message them at 1 a.m. What are you doing? Girl, I've just been on Instagram since 9 p.m. Doing what? I don't know. Have you finished what you're supposed to do? I have not. How do you feel? I feel terrible. I feel shitty. I'm like, why? Because I'm seeing what my mates are doing. That internal comparison, that pressure for people that are acting out, presenting, staging, curating curating the life that they want you to see, and you take it hook, line, and sinker, and you absorb it into your mental. Do you know that it affects your dreams? It affects your thoughts. It affects your imagination. It affects your concentration. Social media is one of the biggest distractions of our time. And in as much as it's a wonderful tool when used in a positive and uplifting way, it also is a double-sided sword. So you have to be very careful. You have to understand, like Tolu said, what you're consuming. It is so important because we are visual beings. We first of all see, and seeing it helps us imagine it. And so if you're seeing this and seeing that of things that are really not real, things that have been put together to make those people look good, and you take it on as reality, then Oyo is your own. I'm sorry for you. Personally, I'm serious. Now other things like reading, this is now personal to me. Reading, relaxing by watching TV, watching my favorite shows, watching documentaries, researching as well at things that make me feel good. These are ways that I'm able to find my balance, so to speak, in the world where we are today. These are things that I use, these are tools that I use to be able to help me. So staying off social media, reading for me, and also engaging in other things. I've also recently, I started yoga like 2 years ago. And I remember my very first yoga class. Yes, I remember my first yoga class because I was like, I want something that is slow. I don't want something that is fast. I want something that is slow and puts me in deep thoughts. And yoga was the when I tried yoga for the first time. After my first class, I remember I actually burst into tears. Like the release for me was like powerful. And I was like, what is this feeling? And then my yoga instructor, she just laughed and she was like, that's yoga for you. Like it takes you in, it's a journey inward into self so that you're able to connect with who is really on the inside. And I've never looked back since then. So for me, find what feels best for you, find what feels healthy, find what takes you to a place that truly builds you up, because you're not going to differentiate between what is visually stimulating to you, which is all of these images on social media and videos. Those things look nice because they're well put together, great colors, great style and all that, but does it really uplift you? That's how you know. Does it nourish you? When you're done, do you feel dirty on the inside or do you feel elevated? Do you feel like, oh, this 1 hour was well spent? There's some conversations you have with people, and when you're done, you're like, wow, that was such a great conversation. That's how the things that you want to do, the things you want to do to improve, what we're talking about, that's how it should make you feel. So I hope that answers your question, anyways.
Great, great, great. Thank you so much. That was very, very well put together. And I'm coming to you, Tolu. I wanted to also ask about a few impactful daily habits that we can use to promote self-love. I mean, Latasha has said a lot of things, but I'm sure that you have a few other things you want to give to us as well.
Yeah, I was enjoying what Latasha was sharing. It's very a few impactful daily habits. I would say any form of movement, exercise, like she mentioned. For me, I like weights. I like lifting weights. I like
wow.
It just helps me. I don't know, it forces my mind to stay still. So for me, I need my mind to stop running. So you need to find something that allows you to move in a way where you can be present with your body, because a lot is going on around, and you may not even, some people, they work hours, they don't realize they haven't eaten, they don't realize they don't realize so much time is passing. So you need a practice that allows you to slow down. Another thing I will recommend is nurturing relationships. Finding time in the day to touch base with a friend, with a family member, because truly we don't know how much time we have left with our loved ones, and anything can happen at any time. No one knows tomorrow. Just think about 2020. That's my example.
Wow.
Nobody knows tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's really important to just connect, even if it's just a quick message. I remember, maybe they're sitting an exam, a quick message, I'm thinking about you, how is it going? Can do a lot of bonding for you and your person. Because sometimes I think we overthink these things. Oh, I have to get on a call. Not necessary. You can just drop a message. I'm thinking of you. How are you doing? Another daily habit I have, I like learning. So I would encourage you, if you want to learn how to love yourself, you need to learn. So it's important for you to spend time learning. So what do you enjoy learning, and how do you enjoy to learn? Do you like reading books like Latasha mentioned, or do you prefer to listen? I'm more of a listener. So I have my favorite podcasts I listen to on rotation. And you will find, there's something I discovered a couple of years back, and I'll share because I think it will help a lot of people if you're not aware of it. It's called neuroplasticity. So it's basically teaching your brain new ways to solve problems. So if you give your brain a problem, it's going to find a solution, but you just need to practice that muscle more, and you find solutions faster. It builds self-trust. So what you will find as a result is you solve your own problems faster, you become more self-reliant. And then I will say, lastly, you need to work on a daily habit is filtering. So what I mean by filtering is I'm a big advocate of boundaries. So anything to do with, removing people or creating distance with what isn't serving you. I would ask you to do an audit. Like every single day, just looking at your daily habits, what is not serving you in a person, a place, or even a thing, and think about how you can create distance or how you can redefine. And then to wind up your day, you need a practice to slow down. Okay. So when I say slow down, I mean you need a practice to let your body know, okay, we're winding down. Whether it's putting your phone on silent. For me, I like to, spend time with the Lord. If I can't do that, because I want to be real with you, or if the day sometimes passes all of us by. If I can't do that, I like to listen to music, or listen to a show, or watch a show. That and oh, sorry, I keep going on. I'll say this and then I'll stop. But have a cheat day. I have a self-love day, okay? I call it my do nothing.
Wow.
It's a do nothing day. So what I mean by that is that day I'm not doing anything. I'm ordering and I'm just watching a show. I don't have any client calls. I'm not doing anything. My friends know, okay, it's Tolu's do nothing day. So it's D&D on purpose. So you can't I'm not doing anything that doesn't serve me. And I'm very strong on that. When you do this, you develop a relationship with your body, your soul, and your spirit that will make it inevitable for you to attract love into your life and for you to love yourself in a progressive way. So those are my rituals.
Great. Thank you so much. I like the way do nothing day sounds, and it looks so much like do not disturb. Yeah, right. Very, very key. Thank you so much. And I love the fact that you talked about boundaries, because my next question, talking about boundaries, how important is it to set boundaries in the process of cultivating self-love? And what role do these boundaries play in protecting our emotional health? Because I understand that it's important to set boundaries just to promote your emotional health. So I want you to talk about that.
Sure. So setting boundaries is really important in cultivating self-love and promoting your emotional health. So apart from setting boundaries, you need to know, firstly, where are your boundaries running amok? Is it in your relationships with people? Is it in your workplace? Is it in the way in which you are even treating yourself? Some of you are in relationships you shouldn't be in the first place, but I'm not going to go there. Is it in those places that
Go there.
Yeah,
Go there.
Because my
Natasha says go there.
because my goodness,
Okay.
like you need to rearrange the way in which you allow people into your life. So firstly, where do you want to set the I'll take an example. If you want to set boundaries at work, what does your daily routine look like and where are your boundaries being pressed? That's the first question because you need to set a boundary that will be conducive to that environment. So you can't set a boundary at work saying do not talk to me at this time. You're in the office. You are meant to be relating with people, but you can set a boundary of saying I'm in a meeting at so and so time, so I won't be unavailable.
Yeah.
Or I can talk for 5 minutes. Just little things like that is practicing boundaries. Another thing is you want to make sure your boundary is reflective of who you are as a person. So don't take someone else's boundary and use it as your own. It won't work. If you're not somebody that is very confrontational or very vocal, don't go and take a vocal boundary. Take a boundary that is more subtle, a boundary that will maybe it's as simple as making sure that you leave a certain room at a particular time. Maybe, it could be leaving the sitting room if you're at home, maybe you're staying with family, or it could be leaving to go out for lunch instead of eating in the office. Those little things will completely change the way people have access to you. Another thing I will say is with boundary setting, you want to take it one at a time. Because sometimes I see people, they do, this is why New Year resolutions don't work. You do everything at once. It's not going to work. It's very unrealistic. Choose an area that you want to elevate in your life. And I chose that word on purpose because you need a reason for your boundary. It can't just be, oh, I'm just having this boundary. No, what's your reason behind it? It could be I want to focus on growing my skill. I'm sitting an exam. I want to practice being more vocal. So choose a reason behind your boundary and then focus on that area. Give it 90 days so it becomes habitual. You need your boundary to become habitual. It's not something that I'm doing this today, but I won't do it tomorrow. Like, for example, my D&D days are habitual. And that's why it's important for you to be able to say, this is an area where a lot of people have taken advantage of me. Start with that. This is how I'm going to set the boundary in this area that feels most natural for me. That's the next step. And this is the length of time I'm giving myself to practice this boundary. And what's great about this, Faye, is at the end of the 90 days, you won't even realize it's a boundary anymore because it's become a part of how you live your life. So that would be my advice on boundary setting and practicing it to be able to create an environment that encourages your mental and emotional well-being. Ooh, I can't see her.
Ife, have we lost you? Tolu, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. I can see.
Okay.
I think she just stepped out, or maybe
I think we lost her. Please tell us about relationships we shouldn't be going into.
Hello, Natasha, it's your turn.
Oh, my apologies. I think I was kicked out. I'm so sorry
Okay.
about that. Yes.
Okay,
But
so
I
Tolu
wanted
just
us
wrapped up.
to get Latasha's views as well on these
Okay.
boundary issues.
So for me, everything that Tolu said, but I'll just add a few more things to it. I think that boundary setting also involves setting realistic expectations. Just to tack on to what she said about things like New Year resolutions. We sometimes do or try to do too much in such a short time, and you crash and burn, and then you're like, oh my God, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm a mess, I'm a failure. The downward spiral just goes on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello? I think we've lost Ife again. But the
Oh no,
downward
you didn't lose me.
spiral, okay. The downward spiral just continues from there. And so being realistic about what you can accomplish and what you can, yeah, what you can accomplish so that you avoid overcommitting. There's something I tell my friends, like, you have gone and overpromised and now you can no longer deliver. You have said you're going to do too much. You are committed to too many people. You are trying to make so many people happy. And in the end, you have ended up making yourself unhappy because you
Unhappy.
have people that are unhappy with you. You have people that you have promised and so on and giving your word. and all that. So you have to take things in bites, learn to pause and say, let me get back to you on this. You know, you don't have to say yes in the moment. You also don't have to say no in the moment, which brings me to the next thing. People talk about learning to say no. It's not like we don't know how to say no. We're a country of people that say no all the time to everything. Mommy, can I go out? No. Mommy, can I? No. 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 You know, so it's not the knowing how to say no. I think it's more like learning how to say no, learning what to say no to, and learning when to say
When to
no.
say no.
I think
Exactly.
that's more of it, you know. Establishing healthy boundaries with people includes all of this, because sometimes someone actually needs you, which is when you learn when to say no. Your friend sends you a message and the person typically is not the kind of person that says, can you talk right now? You never know. And I'm not saying you must be available, but you also learn when to recognize the signs of when there's an actual need. Because sometimes people too bring their vulnerability to you. And if you're not discerning in the moment, that opportunity passes by, and you never know what could have come as a result of you just putting down a listening ear in the moment, you know, or whatever request. You know, in recent times, I've seen people become a bit more selfish, but not in a positive way. They want you when they want you,
Yeah.
when they need you,
Need
when
you.
it's, do you understand? On their own time, but they're not there for you on your own time. So this is also learning what to say no to, who, what, when, and why. It's very important. Another um Another thing I noted down here was also in boundary setting, it is also important to surround yourself with positivity. Spending time with the right kind of people, the people who support you, people who encourage you, people who uplift you, and for whom you also do the same. People that you are, it's because it must be reciprocal. We must
Yeah.
not learn to become a people or that are just takers. We must take as we give.
Give.
Do you understand? It must be mutual. It's a two-way road, it's not a one-way road. So self-love does not mean just taking it all in. I find that you tell people, oh, you look nice, and they just say thank you. Girl, I know you don't need to tell me. I already look nice. But that's courtesy. It's these little things. Learning how to be kind, how to give, do you understand? It's all part of this boundary setting. So it's not just about you, it's also about the people in your space as well, and how to create a healthy fence that keeps the wrong people out and the right people in.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Latasha. Very well put together. And I'm still with you, Latasha. I want to know the difference, I mean, the line between self-love and unwillingness to improve. So, for example, you have a particular behavior, a habit that is not very nice, and it's important for you to improve. But then you tell people you need to just accept me the way I am. How can you balance the act of loving yourself while striving for personal growth and improvement?
You know, it is true that self love is really accepting and embracing yourself as you are. That is true. Your strengths, your weaknesses, and your imperfections. It's about treating yourself with kindness, compassion, and understanding. However, there is also, like you said, the part where there's an unwillingness to improve. Ah, no, 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 no. This is who I've always been, please. This is who I am. No, 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 no. My zodiac sign says that I'm a troublemaker. Therefore, trouble is in my destiny, and I cannot do anything about that. No. Sometimes refusing or resisting to acknowledge areas for growth, change, or development can stem from fear, complacency, or a fixed mindset. Sometimes we need to also seek external help. A lot of the time, these mindsets have been fixed from our childhoods. It could be from personal trauma that people have endured. It could be a situation that just changed the way they view a certain type of, confrontation or whatever. And this is why it's important to surround yourself with people who love you and who want the best for you. because they are the ones who will be able to tell you that, oh girl, the way you are going in this manner is not the best way. I have, and I'm lucky and blessed to have such people in my life. You know, my sister, because there are certain things that, like, if you leave me, I will eat spaghetti and stew from Monday to Sunday. Spaghetti and goat meat stew. I will eat it till Monday to Sunday. Like, I will not eat anything else. My sister is like, because we live
Oh.
together, she's like, mm-mm, you have to have pepper soup. We have to mix in some vegetables. Let's do something else. And that's the thing. That's people who, first of all, you love them, they love you, you trust them, and they trust that you will accept what you're saying. So I don't know how to say it other than just having the right people that have not been silenced by maybe our anger or our trauma, people that love us through our imperfections so that they are able to help us course correct. There is, of course, the Almighty, who in his infinite wisdom also helps us when we get to that point where I will put a brick wall here and you will hit your head on that wall, and you keep hitting your head on that wall until you get the message. But life is cyclical, and so what goes around comes around, and nature has a way of correcting you when you are too far gone. Sometimes it's too late and you jump off the cliff, but most of the time it has a way of stopping us in our tracks and helping us to view ourselves. And if you get to the point where you have viewed yourself and you're like, I'm at a place of stagnation, I don't know how to move from, I don't know, so experts, psychologists or psychiatrists or whatever it is that you need, or a coach or a life coach or even a mentor, or at the very least, a good friend that can at least help you talk through the problem, because like they say, or like we say, two heads are better than one.
Great, great, great. Thank you so much, Latasha. And so now I have a very important question, and I would really love both of you to talk about this. But first, I'd like to look to talk about it. It is often said that you cannot give what you do not have. How does practicing self-love impact your relationship with others? Now, I'm talking about every type of relationship, family, romantic relationship, friendship, and so on and so forth. How does practicing self-love impact your relationship with others?
Practicing self-love makes you a better steward of your relationships, because when you start learning how to value your time, you value people's times as well. When you start learning how to value your space, you value other people's space as well. It's kind of like having a mirror, and it's important to, because self-love isn't selfish, it's actually you being selfless. If you're in different communities, sometimes self-love can be perceived as being selfish, and that's how you just know you're in the wrong space. But when you are being in a space whereby you are appreciating yourself, learning to love yourself through some of the amazing things Latasha mentioned, and I'll just expand on that, is looking at your relationships as a board of directors. They call them board of directors, like who is on, okay? Because I mean, who is on your board? How many are they? They shouldn't be too many, they shouldn't be too little. They should be a good mix, experience, exposure. You want a mix on your board. And then every quarter, you want to look at your board and see how have they helped my life and how have I helped them as well. Like, like what's reciprocal. Because then you will find that you're both growing. It's because it's a reciprocal relationship, you're both growing as a result. So in no, that you don't need to think about how can I help this person. It's a natural offspring of relationship, because you are coming together to make sure you are both better. And the other thing I will say about your board of directors is, look at where they advise you. Some people are not good. If you think of a typical board, they have various areas of expertise and focus, and they are naturally biased in those areas. So are you asking, because my background is relationships, are you asking a close friend or a family member about your sibling when that is the mother of both of you? Or are you asking a sister or a friend about your boyfriend when she doesn't even have a good history dating. Okay, so it's very important for you to, or are you asking, somebody that doesn't is not good with money about how to spend your money? Just because they are your
Okay.
friend.
Error.
It doesn't make sense. But it doesn't mean they are not good in other areas. You need to look at your board and know, where do I go to this person for advice? And where am I a good steward of helping them as well? Because in some areas you're not good as well. So if they ask you, oh, how do I navigate this situation? And you are not good at it, you say it. I'm not the best person to ask about this, but how about we try this? So that way you're collaborating with them on finding a solution and you're still both growing. So when it comes to like self-love and, getting better, it's really about being honest with yourself and looking at your board of directors, as they are called, and asking yourself, how are they growing and how are they helping you grow? And it just naturally progresses from there. You don't need to think about it. It's just a natural product of relationship.
Thank you so much. I really, really love the board of directors analogy. Latasha, the floor is open for you.
As usual, everything Tolu said, as usual. But I will also add that self love does have a profoundly positive impact on your relationships with others. I mean, even just looking at my own life, right? Um, my sister has, and I refer to my sister all the time because it seems now that she is one of the close. I only have one sister, by the way. She's one of the
Oh.
closest people in the world to me, and she completely understands me because I feel like a lot of the time I'm a very different kind of animal. Like, I think differently and whatnot, but she gets me and she sees me, and many times she's able to complete my sentences or she mirrors exactly how I think about
In
something.
your, yeah.
And there's something that she says. I feel like I've also lost my train of thought now. She said there's something she says all the time about the way I approach things. She used to call me the grudge. She's learning not to call me that anymore because me too, I'm also learning to how to be more forgiving. And maybe up until 2 years ago or a year ago, there were so many people in my life that I was no longer speaking to for whatever reason. Some of them might even be on this live at this moment. And please, I don't talk to them anymore. No, please. When I need. Uh, 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 uh. One day I looked at myself, I made a list. I'm like, Tasha, what's really going on? What's happening? What is going on? I was like, God, okay, please help me. I don't know how to walk my way back to these people, but if you can try, I will also do my part. And I can tell you that in the last year, in fact, in the last 6 months, almost all of them found their way back to me. Excuse me. And I say this because I always felt like, how you feel like I'm not the problem, other part the problem, but then it's like, it may not be that you're the problem, but my reaction to this thing, I didn't give enough
Yeah.
grace and this and that. And I had to also look at myself. And I'm like, I'm always very hard on myself. I'm very hard on myself when I don't accomplish something. I'm very hard on myself when I fall short. And I was applying that same yardstick to my friends. My sister tells me all the time, your brain calculates things very fast. As we are here sitting down, I don't already go with my mind. Piam, I'm 200 meters in front mentally. And sometimes people need time to catch up. They don't compute the way you compute things. And so the thing that you have already seen, they've not yet seen it, but you need to give people that grace. And the self love, like understanding that about myself, made me understand that I needed to learn how to give people that grace. I needed to learn when to slow it down, when to show empathy. Like, it's not everything that requires a sarcastic response. I enjoy sarcasm a lot. I really do. I love very witty conversations. Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, one of my favorite characters. I just love a snappy response. I'm very, very sassy. So, but it's sassiness and sarcasm are great, but it's not always called for when somebody is bearing their mind to you. When someone is being vulnerable, or even sometimes when someone is being silly, it's not always the way to go. There are other ways that you can sort of quote what you're trying to say so that they too realize that I'm trying, and so they can adjust upwards as well. So for me, um, self-love has helped me become a better friend in that I show more empathy. I've cultivated better emotional intelligence. Sometimes if a friend comes, resist the urge to be a know-it-all and solve the problem. Listen, do you want me to listen or do you want me to weigh in? Actually found myself asking that question. Do you want me to listen or do you want me to give an opinion? If you want me to give an opinion, on a degree, do you want it warm? Do you want it hot? Do you want it spicy? How do you want us to go? And sometimes they choose spicy. They're like, you know what, Tash, give me everything. I want to
Yes,
hear
it
it
is.
because I think I'm being stupid right now. I want to hear it as it is so that my mind is clear. You know what I mean? So this is important. It also helps you, I beg your pardon, attract, like we've talked about before, healthier relationships. When you love yourself, you are more than likely to attract people who respect and appreciate you. If people see the way you treat yourself, they see the way you treat your space, they see the way, even when you're in your car, little things like you have a basket, the way you collect trash. Nobody's going to come into your car and just throw things on the ground
Anyhow.
like that. You know what I mean? When people watch you and watch the way you two have respect for the things around you, even the way, excuse me, you treat your staff, people will not come into your home and treat your staff in that way. So it's a much bigger ecosystem. The idea of self-love, it really does impact so much more beyond, oh, just I love myself, I'm taking care of myself, I'm going to the spa. It's so much more than that. The effect is it has a huge multiplication factor in a way that can actually change the world. That's why I
Yeah.
call it radical, because it really is radical.
Thank you so much, Latasha. I mean, it's been a beautiful time on this webinar. We learned a lot of things, and we're rounding up. In a few more minutes, we're going to be winding down on the webinar. But I wanted to come back to you, Tolu. Now, you are a coach, a relationship coach, and you were going a particular direction the other time. You didn't want to go completely, and Latasha wanted you to go actually. Now, in your years of experience, have you listened to somebody talk about their experience and you just discovered, oh, this is happening because you do not prioritize yourself or you don't practice self-love? And how did you help this person get better?
Yes. So here's the thing, you've hit the nail on the head because in um every single client that I have worked with, I have advised that is experiencing a relationship that isn't functional or even just dating experiences with men that are not productive or progressive. It's a lack of self-love on their part. It's a lack of self-prioritization. And how it usually presents itself, in case this is helpful to women and men on the webinar because it's gender neutral, is you will find that your time is disrespected. You're constantly spoken down to. It feels like you're in the same place with the same person for a very long time. In other words, you've been in that situationship for months, years. Both of you are not moving into a marriage if you've been engaged for a prolonged time, or there's no definition. And the summary is there's a lot of confusion and chaos. And that means there's no anchor. And the anchor has to be from yourself first. For you to attract a healthy partner, you need to be a healthy individual. So whether a healthy and you need to be on a healing journey, emphasis on the ing. You don't need to be healed because we're all works in progress, but you do need to be healing. And what will happen as a result is it will transform the way in which, speaking specifically as a woman, the way in which you attract men, the way men treat you as well, and the way in which you're able to, if you're married, the way in which you're able to communicate and connect with your partner, because they will realize there's a shift in the ecosystem. There's a shift in the way in which, oh, I can no longer say this and get away with that. I can no longer express myself this way and just expect him or her to put up with it. it will change the dynamic of the conversation. But I find that because there's a lack of awareness of self-value. And that self-value comes from loving yourself, because you can't value what you don't love. So if there becomes a lack of self-value, you will be treated like you're worthless. And what happens as a result is you will have a very trashy, toxic relationship dynamic. So my advice usually, and how I've helped my clients and how I've helped women walk through this, is looking at their wounds, because it's a wound. So it's either it's a wound that you were birthed with. In other words, maybe you didn't grow up in a nurturing environment. Maybe you were in an environment where as a child you internalize a lot. And you know, when they say you have a little girl inside you or a little boy inside you. The truth is, if you grew up in an environment that was lacking of love, you will not know what love looks like. So it's important to understand, you know, I like going through the history to understand what is your understanding of love. You will find that you usually attract partners that are reflective of parental figures in your life.
Understand that.
And then the final thing I will say is how I've helped my clients through this is understanding that the love of your life doesn't look like the man or the woman that is causing you pain. Because there's this assumption that this is all that's available because this is all I've ever known. And the truth is, for you to get to that point where you attract the right person, you have to start becoming him or her. Because the person you want cannot be attracted to self-harm or self-hurt, because they don't speak that language. They're in a completely different ecosystem. So it's important that you start walking in that ecosystem as well. So that's what I'll say on that. That's how self-love will help you date the right way and marry the right person.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Tolu. Thank you so much, Latasha. It's been a wonderful time here with you guys. We don't have a lot of time left, but we're going to take a few questions from our participants. One says, I have a question for Latasha. You were so lucky having a family that loved you, nurtured and groomed you. What about people that do not have such privileges? I know Tolu just mentioned about it briefly, but Latasha, I'd like you to speak on this, please.
You know, many times in our lives, we are not born into the perfect families. In fact, no family is perfect. But if you know, like the person who has asked, that is what adulthood does. It gives you a chance to pick a new tribe of people. And that's the people that you surround yourself with. Some of us are lucky and we're born with siblings that can stand us, you know, that even like us. Let's even leave love. They even just like you as a person. So when that's not your situation, it's not all about who you choose as your tribe. Who is the person that you call your best friend? You have no control, I agree, over who your mother and father gave birth to, or even who birthed you as mother and father. But who do you call your best friend? Who are, like Tolu said, who are on your board of directors? Have you chosen well? Have you chosen the kind of people that you imagined would be your blood? Why did you choose them? On the basis of what? What has brought you people together? What kind of conversations do you have? How do they lift you up? How do they help you feel good about yourself? What is it that you both do for each other that you don't even have to ask, that just comes naturally because that is what you're thinking for one another? I think that's a great place to start. And of course, Tolu is a great person to follow on relationship and dating, as well as a coach, because I'm not a professional, but this is just my experience.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Latasha. Tolu, I don't know if you have any other thing to add.
To that particular question, no, Latasha covered it beautifully. And
okay, great. Okay, so the next question I'd like to direct to Tolu. It says sometimes you start disliking yourself when you keep making the same mistakes, but you want to do and be better. In that period, what measures can one adopt to continue loving oneself?
To love yourself, loving yourself looks different from wherever you are. For instance, the way in which you love yourself when you are exercising is through exercise. When you are on a spa is through relaxing. So loving yourself looks different. So I use that illustration to say from where you are right now, you need to learn how to love yourself through your mistakes. So what I mean by that is you need to learn to love the current version of who you are. And the current version of who you are right now is acknowledging the fact that you are making mistakes. So accept her, accept the fact that, okay, I'm taking one step forward and know this is wrong. That will allow your mind to think, like I said, neuroplasticity, that will allow your mind to open up and think, how can I now solve this problem? So depending on whatever mistakes that you've made, maybe you've made a plethora of mistakes or just very little, choose one thing and choose something that's very simple. Is it that an example could be you're entertaining, I'll go with relationships, you're entertaining the wrong men. Stop talking to men that don't take you seriously. If you notice that he doesn't keep his word, remove him. Distance yourself. You may not be able to shut it down fully. Take a step back. Observe what is going on with your response, because what I find is when people are struggling with self-love in an area, it's usually self-acceptance, like accepting the fact that this is who I am. Can you take me the way I am? But you need to understand who you are first for the right person to show up. So the summary of what I'm saying is, firstly, recognize the fact that you are learning and love yourself through that process. It's all part of the process. None of us is perfect. Like Natasha was saying, we're all going through a journey here. The second step is choose one mistake. I'm a fan of just choosing one thing. In fact, there's a whole book called, I think it's called The One Thing. Just choose one thing and then choose one mistake. Choose something simple. Focus on how you can make that mistake better. You know, instead of saying, oh, I'm just going to change completely, take a step back and choose one thing you're going to do differently, because I always
process.
+2 will always equal 4. But if you add 1, it becomes 5. So just choose one thing and it will change the results. So that's how I'll advise you get started.
Great. I like that. I like the fact that it's a gradual process and you don't just build Rome in a day. Thank you so much, Tolu. That was brilliantly said. Now, my next question, right? I like this because I also fall into this category. This person says, I like the do nothing day, but is it achievable with young kids? Because what you realize is that a lot of mothers are actually losing themselves in the process of, trying to sacrifice the time of take care of the family, take care of the children and every other thing. So this person is asking that, is it possible to have a do nothing day when you have young children?
I like that question. That's a good question. What I will say is do nothing day, it doesn't have to be a whole day. You have to look at it through the lens of where you are again. So if you're a mother with a really young child and you can't take a full day for very understandable reasons, take an hour, take a couple of minutes. Even if it's just going to the next room, getting a nanny or a family member to help you, or your husband to help you with the child. Just take that time to separate yourself and put yourself in a completely different environment. The importance of do nothing day is to change your environment, change your atmosphere. Let me put it like that. Change the atmosphere in which you are in to give your brain time to slow down. So even if you can't take a full day, start with an hour. Again, just a little thing. Start with 30 minutes. And it doesn't have to be once a week, because it's 30 minutes. It could be once every other day. Like, okay, for 30 minutes, I'm going to step back today and plan for your do nothing day. Very important to remember. That's what I do. Plan for it. So in other words, plan around it. Get it, put it in your mind that, okay, on this day or for this particular level of time, I'm not available. I need somebody to do A, B, and C so that my brain can shut down, because there's no point doing a do nothing day and your brain is running all over the place. So that your day is being taken care of without your presence. So as a mother with young kids, and if you have older kids, I'm sure that you can get longer than a couple of hours away. There's some, and I'll say this with a grain of salt, because I know I'm speaking to a broad audience here. I found that when I'm working with mothers, you have to learn to love yourself as you're becoming. So what I mean by that is you've never raised that particular child before. And every individual is different. So loving yourself as you're becoming means finding new ways to love yourself as you are learning to love that child. And that could look very different even if you have more than one kid. So that do nothing day is an exercise in you learning to face yourself in the mirror, whatever stage you're at. Even if it's a few minutes, a couple of hours, take what you can get and give it to yourself, because you will be able to give it back to your child and your children in bounds by loving yourself first. That's my response to that.
Can I also
Great,
just
great,
quickly
great.
add?
Thank you
Can I
so
just
much,
add to
Tolu.
that, Ife?
Yes,
That
please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
opening your mouth and also asking for help can also help you achieve a do nothing day. You find that a lot of moms, maybe new moms or whatever, they want to take on all the responsibility. Oh, I've read it in 1,000 books that this is what a perfect mother should be, it's what a good mother should do. You need to do this, this, and that. Guess what? A lot of those things, our mothers didn't do them, their mothers didn't do them, and many of us turned out just fine. I understand trying to break a cycle, but sometimes just asking for help from your community, from your family, even from your friends. You'll be surprised that you have friends who generally don't mind spending time with kids, who actually love kids and won't mind taking them off your hands for an hour or two or more than that, just in order to help you. So I'm okay, I'll do it for this week, or I'll take it on for you next week. Before you know what's going on, your whole community has taken up 6 weeks ahead of your do nothing day to just help you have that downtime that you need for yourself. So ask for help sometimes. It's important.
Great, great. Thank you so much. Very well said, Latasha. Thank you so much, Latasha and Tolu. And I think this is all the questions we can take. Okay, so I just like ask one last question and we can close up the meeting because we don't have a lot of time. What is that one thing that you want to leave everyone on this call with? And I'm starting with you, Tolu.
Find yourself. That's the thing I will leave. Find yourself. Because finding yourself will lead you to everything you want. You need to find and finding yourself is a journey. It doesn't mean, I mean, a couple years ago, me and today were not the same. Me last year and today were not the same. So you are on a journey. Find yourself, ground yourself in a faith practice. If you're a Christian, ground yourself in that, whatever faith practice that will allow you to nurture self-confidence and that internal compass, as I like to call it. Ground yourself in it. It will serve you very well because life will come at you in many ways, and you need to be able to stay the course. So that's my one thing.
Thank you so much, Tolu. Find yourself. Very key. Latasha, over to you.
I mean, what can I say that has not yet been said? But self-love comes in many forms. Sometimes it is the lightest touch. It's like a small kiss, mwah, just like that. I mean, as I finished doing my makeup and I came out of my room to settle down in front of the camera, before I came out, I sprayed a little perfume, and my sister looked at me and she's like, "You're spraying perfume." I'm like, "I know. It makes me feel good. Even just sitting down in my own cloud of scents just makes me feel happy." So it looks different for everyone else. What you do is different from what I would do, the littlest ways, and understand that it's part of the journey. Like Tolu said, it is a self-love is a journey. It's not a destination. Every day, I talked about who I was a year ago versus who I am now. I may be the one sitting down and teaching or sharing my experience with people, but it doesn't mean that I'm also not in the process of learning and removing some things that I know in order to replace it with new things that will serve me. So understand that it takes time, it takes effort, it takes patience to cultivate a deep and abiding love for oneself. It doesn't mean that life is not going to test you. Situations are going to be thrown at you. You're going to come to the office one day and there's a new boss, there's a new sheriff in town. You're going to have different things thrown at you, and you are still going to be you. So, what then do? You have to just understand that it takes time. You have to learn how to be gentle with yourself. You have to remember that you are also worthy of love, you are worthy of care, and you are worthy of compassion just the way you are. That's my final word.
Oh my goodness, that was brilliantly said. Thank you so much. Can I see us put our virtual claps in the comment section because I'm clapping here. It has been a wonderful time, and I particularly like how both of you closed this conversation. It is a journey it's a means to an end, right? And that is what is important. what you do today, improve on tomorrow, improve on the day after, and it only gets better afterwards. Thank you so much to both of you. Thank you for taking our time to be here with us, and it's been a wonderful time with both of you today. Thank you to Latasha and to Lou, and you can also reach out to these two wonderful women. You can follow them on Instagram. So I'll just let you call out your Instagram pages for our participants who would like to follow you. So Latasha, you can go first, and
You
then
can
to Lou
follow me.
also.
Yeah, you can follow me on Latasha Lagos on all social media handles. It's Latasha Lagos with an L for Latasha. Latasha Lagos.
Oh, great. Thank you.
You can follow me on Fan the Flame. That's Fan the Flame, FANTHEFLAME on Instagram. Fan the Flame.
Thank you so much to Lou and Latasha. And don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. We keep saying that we are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, which is X, and we have a W community as well. And we just relaunched our W community website, just like Samuel has said. So make sure to join the community. We are building a community of thriving women, and I'm sure that you want to be a part of this. Don't also forget to subscribe. You can click the subscribe button just right under your screen there, and you will be the first to get ample information in every event and every program that we have put together for women this year. Thank you once again to Tolu and to
Thank you.
Latasha.
Thank you so much to the W for this wonderful initiative. Thank you for doing this. And I can't wait for you guys to have me back next time on something else. It is really amazing what you guys do.
Definitely.
So thank you, W.
Thank you so much. Latasha is a friend of the house anyway. This is not our first conversation together, and I love the fact that she's still open to partnering with us, and you can also partner with us on different things that we're doing for women. Thank you so much once again. And for you who are taking your time out to be here to join this session, and you have showed up for yourself today, we are super proud of you, and we are rooting for you for every positive lifestyle change that this webinar is going to bring. It's been such an amazing time, and I want to believe that it was worth your time. And this brings us to the end of the webinar session. I'm sure that you don't want to go, but we don't have a lot of time here. So we're going to close the webinar session with a closing remarks from the unit head of the women banking team here at Access Bank. Please welcome Bimpe Gisori. Hi, Bimpe. Good evening.
Hi, Ife.
And thank you for joining us.
Much. Thank you, Tolu and Natasha. It was well delivered. Thank you for sharing your experience. I learned a lot. I love the part of no one can be a Big Peggy Sorry. There's only one Big Peggy Sorry. I'm an advocate for self-love. I love myself. I do things that will make me happy. And just as you said, we also have to encourage everybody. We start, Rome was not built in a day. It's a gradual step. A drop of water, before you know an ocean is formed. I have a sister that created, after my mom's passed, that created what she calls a call checking. She does that to all the siblings. And I really appreciated it. She called me today and said, I didn't check in this week. But that is how love is, self-love. So I'm blessed with siblings that love each other. But not everybody has that. But you can start that. You can create that. It's just baby step. And before you know it, it forms an habit. So, but I want to say thank you. I learned a lot. The do nothing day is going to be part of me. I've never thought about it, but I'm going to create something. But it's something. All these webinars are something that you get something from me. You sat down here for almost 2 hours. What will your take home be? For me, do nothing. For me, there can never be another Big Peggy Sorry. I will make my mark. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for partnering with us. Ife, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bimpe. I'm sure a lot of people are taking that do nothing day away. Even for me, I am so going to inculcate that into my calendar. Thank you so much, Latasha and Tolu. It's been a very, very beautiful session with you. And before we close, I'd like to encourage each of you to do one thing that makes you feel loved today, whether it is writing yourself a love note, whether it is taking yourself on a solo date, or simply looking into the mirror and saying, oh, baby, I love you. Do that thing that makes you happy and makes you feel good about yourself. If you enjoyed our webinar today, don't forget to follow us across our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, X, and Twitter at the W Community. Thank you so much. And until the next time, keep loving yourselves unapologetically. My name is Ifelua Mota, and thank you so much for joining us on this session today. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. And Twitter at the W Community. Thank you so much. And until the next time, keep loving yourselves unapologetically. My name is Ifelua Mota, and thank you so much for joining us on this session today. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
I see a light inside of you, so let it shine. It's time to spread your wings and fly. Reach for the sky. Get up, don't let nothing hold you. Get up right now, right now. Get up, don't let nobody tell you that you can't. There is greatness inside of you. You're the one that the world is waiting for. Every step you take, we go there, 'cause we believe in you. So one day you go make out. Push you down, stand to the ground. Yes, we believe in you. Don't you give up on yourself till the world knows who you are. Keep on shining. Get up, don't let nothing hold you. Get up right now, right now. Get up, don't let nobody tell you that you can't. There is greatness inside of you. You're the one that the world is waiting for. Every step you take, we go there, 'cause we believe in you. Say one day you go make out. One day, one day, one day. One day you'll be like the sun. So one day you go shine.
Access, more than banking.
It's such a great time to be alive and a great time to be a woman. We are live here at Eco Hotels and Suites to celebrate Access Bank International Women's Day 2023.